Through the deep and dark of Halloween night, a fell call can be heard upon the listless air, a wail that petrifies the soul of young and old alike, able to chill even the bones of the most stoic warriors, brave and fierce. But this cry that instills so much terror in all who hear it is not but the forgotten voice of a phantasm lost between existences, an apparition stripped of life yet forced to live on without purpose or form, undying yet forever past. They were the shadow of what once was, yearning either to take back what had been theirs, or to be put to their final and eternal rest. Gods had begun. Humanity had all players deep and challenging, different is less likely to get me horribly Over the life age of Terraria, many strange and bizarre entities have existed upon its surface. Creatures born from the blood of gods, mutant beasts driven to consume souls of vast power, and fantastical beings from beyond the edge of perception. No matter their differences though, each one had a single thing in common, the fact that they would all, one day, die. No matter how resilient or long-lived they were, eventually every one of them would perish. A fundamental truth laid out before even the beginning of time. Everything, whether it be the brightest of stars or most humble of creatures, must at some point meet their end. For each spark of life that existed would consume a portion of the cosmic energy, a universal source of power that, although vast, was not unlimited. If it were to be spent prematurely, then existence must surely be hastened towards its own end. Ironically though, the use of this power was far from forbidden, and in fact gifted to the gods to use in whatever way they saw fit. It would allow them to create worlds and permit life to flourish across the cosmos, but so too would its use define how long, or indeed short, the universe would live. To safeguard the longevity of existence, the gods would lock away the secret of true immortality once their work was complete, hiding it from the fallible mortals they had created, lest they use it as irresponsibly as they had all other resources. But then there would always be one who would uncover their secrets and wield the power of the gods for themselves. It could have been a warlord, using it to spawn an army of infinite strength. It could have even been the cosmic horrors who had been denied this power in the first place, but instead it was a single, desperate hero, desiring only to save his home. The guide, once true hero of Terraria, would ceaselessly seek out the font of everlasting life, so that he may create a worthy successor who could save Terraria from the terrible nightmares that had and would again befall it. Unbeknown to all but the wisest was the truth of immortality, for a gift such as everlasting life must not be hoarded by a single being, and thus, upon releasing the seals on the font of life, the guide would bestow an immortality upon all the souls of Terraria, all those that were, those that would be, and those who were no more. He had unleashed the curse of the undead across the land, and yet this was still only the beginning. Those afflicted by the curse were still capable of experiencing death, but the difference was that they would be reborn just as quickly as they had fallen. Some saw it as a blessing, whereas others saw it as a never-ending torture, but none saw it for what it really was, a lie. Because of that fundamental universal truth of life and death set out so long ago, there was no true rebirth of a soul, but rather a replacement. Upon their deaths, the immortal curse would draw from the cosmic energy and create a duplicate, complete with the memories of their previous incarnation, even those of their demise. For all it appeared to be, they were the same person, and yet their consciousness was a separate, unique entity, tricked into believing it was someone else. What of the original then? Or even the doppelgangers who themselves had been replaced? Well, energy can never merely be destroyed, and neither can it return to the cosmic source, so it lingers, an impression on the world, destined to remain until the curse of undeath is one day broken. Without form or purpose, however, their existence is harrowing, sentenced to be held in a world without experience, pleasure, or even pain. Often this residual energy of a person manifests as nothing more than a shadow, at most something in the corner of your eye. But sometimes, when the will of the departed is strong enough, they will take the form of a phantom apparition, who will seek out the one who replaced them, and attempt to take back the life they feel is theirs. This is particularly apparent with stronger individuals, especially the champion of Terraria, a being designed to be of the strongest fortitude. As such, it would stand to reason that the ghosts of their past selves would be just as willful. While not considering too deeply how the problem had arisen, it was found that graves, even simple ones, were an effective way to bind spirits and prevent their troublesome wanderings. Although if the grave were ever to be damaged, then the spectre would return to torment its quarry again. With the problem of undeath growing, the amount of gravestones began to mount. They could not simply dispose of them, for they risked damage, and so a place would be needed to safely store them all. What was not known, however, was that the concentration of cosmic energy from fallen beings would start to warp the world around them, allowing the ghosts to escape their prisons and even possess the remains of other creatures, turning graveyards into places of great unrest and danger. Roaming hordes of zombified beasts and spectral phantoms would ultimately be the least of concerns though, as with every additional replacement and lingering spirit, the drain on the cosmic energy supply would increase, and if the curse of undeath were not broken, then the cold of universal night may approach much sooner than it had ever been thought possible. Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked what you saw, then please consider liking the video, subscribing and sharing it with your friends. If you want to support the channel even more, then head over to Patreon, become a channel member or buy some merch. Links are all down in the description. I hope you all have a great day and I'll see you next time.